everybody, and welcome to Chronicles of an Immigrant podcast. And today it is just me. And I did an episode on back to school, and some people loved it. So I just said, okay, this time around, I'll try again for Black History Month. So this is just me in your ears, no guest, nobody. It's just well. So hello, everyone, and happy Black History Month. The month of October is a month dedicated to celebrate the history of Black people in the United Kingdom. And coincidentally, as well, is also Nigeria's Independence Day, the month Nigeria celebrates the Independence Day. So, join together. All in all, is Celebration Day. So, that is that. So, the theme for this month actually is reclaiming our narratives, reclaiming our stories, our identity. Many people think they have an idea of our story, especially as immigrants. Everybody has perception of who an immigrant is. Some people hear the word immigrant and say, okay, an immigrant is somebody that is of low class. An immigrant is somebody that is probably struggling. They hear immigrant and just think, that person definitely has a problem. So an immigrant is not a word that people want to associate themselves with. And it is Black History Month. And for all the Black people with, in Black immigrants, this is a time for us to change that narrative that people have about us, that perception that people think that they know us. People think they have an idea of what we do, what we like. They think that we are going through a lot. Not saying that life is not life in everybody one way or the other, but there's so much more to who we are. There's so much more to our journey. We have a story. And this month is a time for us to show people and tell people our story. So whether you're at work, whether you're in church, I don't know what you do, this is an opportunity wherever you find yourself in. This is an opportunity to use this month to share your story. So I'm going to give you an example, for instance. So last year, it was last year, Black History Month. I reached out to my company. I was like, oh, so what are we doing for the month of October? And at that time, we're already like 3 weeks into Black History Month was about to end. October was about to end, and there was nothing. I'm like, what are we doing for Black History Month? And they said, oh, I would love to do something. What do you think? So, and I told them that I want to share my story. And we did a newsletter, and I told them my story. And what is that story? I'm going to share that story with you and why I did that. So the story was about, coming to the United Kingdom. People in my colleagues, some people thought I was a bit stuck up. Like they will invite me out to lunch. I'll say I'm not going. During break time, I'll be quiet. And they'll ask questions. I won't necessarily give an answer. And it's not because I didn't have answers and not because I didn't have a voice, but how do I use that voice? Like I was afraid. I didn't know how to come off. I'm Nigerian, have a Nigerian accent. And Nigerians, don't forget, I have a very, very bold personality by default. But I was scared to show that personality, to show the sassy side of me at work. I was scared to do that. And I used that article as a way to tell people that I came to the UK, to find my voice outside of my parents, outside of people around me, outside of my family, to find my voice. But I came here and I saw that imposter syndrome was making me lose that voice. And it was affecting my performance at work. People were having wrong perception about who I am. Not knowing that Mo is a fearless, brilliant mind. I was scared. And I told them that right now, what changed? How did I overcome the imposter syndrome? Just like every other day, I was listening to YouTube and I stumbled on something that Oprah Winfrey was talking about. And she said, you are beautiful just the way you are. Why do you have to change yourself for someone? Why do you have to change yourself for the perception of what somebody thinks about you? You are beautiful. You are unique just the way you are. And I sat down and I said, really? More? So you are beautiful just the way you are. You don't have to change the way you talk. You don't have to change the way you dress. You don't have to downplay yourself to fit somebody else's, reality or perception of who you are. And I began to step into that. And I found myself saying, yes. I began to own myself, own my existence. And that made a whole lot of difference. Who am I? I am Mo. I am a unique blend of the Nigerian culture, my Nigerian values, the value of resilience, the value of community, the value of family, the value of being brave. That's who I am. I'm also a blend of the British culture. I can be polished at times. I can be, a bit polite, too polite sometimes. I'm a unique blend of those two worlds. And that's what makes me very different. So I'm encouraging everybody to use this platform, to use this month to share your story at work. If your workplace is not, doing anything about Black History Month, reach out to them, and tell them that, oh, what's going on? Tell your story. And the moment I told my story, people were just calling me, people were talking to me, and I became more confident. It wasn't just for them, it was for me as well. By sharing my story, I became more confident. I began to do things I didn't even think I was doing because by sharing my story, I felt a level of acceptance that, okay, maybe people have accepted me now. I don't know why, but it made me more confident at work. I became bold. All of a sudden, I began to, I began to answer questions, I can just walk up to to the manager, to the CEO. I didn't have any problems with it because I had stepped into my existence. I had stepped into my purpose. So this is Black History Month. The time for us to reclaim our narratives, reclaim the perception of what people think we are, what people think immigrants are. We are bold, we are diverse, we are resilient, we are different. This is our biggest strength. And it is time for us to use this month to step into who we are. Talk about yourself at work. Wherever you find yourself, educate people about what migration means to you in the Black community. Talk to your friends about it. Encourage everybody to talk about it. This is the month where we can actually talk and people will not look at us funny. So let us leverage on this time to do so. So that is why I'm here today, which is why it's just me. I'm very, 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 very passionate about Black History Month. So I want to share that passion with you. Please, 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 please. I'm begging you to use this opportunity to do the same at wherever you find yourself. Please and please and please share with people who you are. You have a story. You are unique. And please step into that. The words of Mary Angela, she says, you might be one, but you stand for 10,000. When you go to a room and you feel like, oh, I'm the only Black person here. Yes, you are. But you might be one, but you stand for 10,000 people that are not there. They're invisible, but they're waiting because your voice is going to make a difference in all those 10,000 people's lives. So you might be one, stand for 10,000. Embrace who you are, step into your purpose, and happy Black History Month! And don't forget, your dreams are valid, our dreams are valid, and see you guys in the next episode. Bye!